You know, elections are incredibly important to our democracy, and we all want people to vote. But at the health department, with COVID rates rising quickly now, we want people to vote safely. So at the Philadelphia Department of Health, we worked with the city commissioners on a COVID safety plans for polling places for this election, taking into account what we know about how COVID has spread and what we can practically do at these polling stations, and the fact that all voters have a right to vote. We have provided instructions for poll workers, and we have advice for voters. And if everybody follows just a few steps, voting can be safe for both the voters and the people who are working at the polling stations. So let me just go through now advice to voters, because those are the people who are most likely to be hearing this message, and the most people in the city that are going to be participating. So here's what voters should do. It's just a few simple things. First of all, and most important, wear a mask. Wear a mask to the polling place, wear a mask while you're waiting to vote, wear a mask while you're voting, and wear a mask when you're traveling back. That's the most important thing you can do. Second, stay 6 feet away from others, both indoors and outdoors. Although we do think that outdoors is safer than indoors, there's definitely a risk of spread if you're close to people outdoors. So even if you're wearing a mask, and even if you're outdoors, stay 6 feet away from other people. Third, expect that you may have to wait outside the polling place until they're ready for you to sign in and vote. The poll workers will be trying to prevent crowding indoors as a safety measures. Now, each polling place is different. Each one has a different layout. And so the experience is going to be different at different polling places. But with that, many people may be asked to wait outdoors until they're ready to sign in and vote. If it's a chilly day, I would recommend that you bundle up so that if you have to wait outside, you're not too cold during that period. And fourth, you'll be given a disposable glove, and use that disposable glove for handling the pen to sign in and for handling the voting machine, so that there's no risk of spread of this infection through touching surfaces. Then spend no more time than is necessary at the polling place to vote. The less time that people are spending inside, that means the less crowding there is, less opportunity there is for spread amongst voters and among poll workers. To do that, read the ballot before you go. I think most people probably know who they're going to vote for president, but there are many other things on the ballot as well, as including proposed city charter changes. Read those in advance so that you know what you want to choose, so that you can vote as quickly as possible. And when you're in the polling place, don't linger and chat with other voters or other workers. Just try to get your voting done and leave as quickly as possible. Take as much time as you need to vote. We don't want to curtail that, but as soon as you're voting, then leave so other people can come in and vote themselves. And then finally, if you happen to have on that morning a fever or a new onset of a persistent cough or shortness of breath, tell a poll worker when you arrive. You can still vote. No one's going to take away your right to vote, but you may need additional help and additional procedures so you can vote in a way that's safe. Now, that's advice for voters. There is also advice and instructions for poll workers and for poll watchers. There is a sheet in the packet that the poll workers will receive with instructions on everything that they should do, and a poster that describes some of these safety measures that we hope you'll see when you get to the polling site. In addition to that, there are rovers, people who are called rovers, who are going to be at polling sites outside that have been trained by the health department. We just went through one of the trainings a few minutes ago. They'll be trained by the health department in these safety procedures, and they're there to answer questions that may come up about COVID safety at the polling site. Just follow their guide. So to everyone, we hope this is a great election. We hope we have a great turnout. We hope everybody stays safe. So stay safe and please vote. Thanks very much.
Yes, hello. This is for Dr. Farley. You mentioned about somebody has symptoms to tell a poll worker. What will that procedure be from there once they tell the poll worker that they have had symptoms?
So there is a procedure for requesting an emergency ballot, and that I don't know the details of it. The city commissioners will have to explain that, but you can get an emergency ballot, which would mean you would not have to go into the polling site. If people insist, they say, I want to vote at the polling site, they can still do that. But what the poll workers will have to do is basically clear everybody else out, and make sure there's a wide distance, and to make sure that voter votes as quickly as possible.